Hello everyone and welcome to March's Tea Tasting Club. We've got 3 lovely boxes here for you to try this month, and we've all kind of themed around a lovely springtime Easter feel. So we have 3 boxes for you to try. We have our Flavour Explorer box, which is perfect for those people who want to have a bit of an adventure, try loads of different new types of blends and really experiment. We also have our gourmet box, which is for the traditional tea lovers, so that might be for you if you love a Great British Cuppa, maybe an Earl Grey, or a lapsang, that kind of thing. And we also have our caffeine-free box. The caffeine-free box is, of course, full of all naturally caffeine-free blends, so if you're trying to cut back on caffeine or avoid it altogether, then that box would be perfect for you. Okay, so starting off with our Flavour Explorer box, we have 3 really delicious blends here for you to try. A good mixture of bases here as well, so there's plenty of teas in here that you won't have tried before, or maybe even bases that you haven't tried before. So we have, first of all, our brand new Spring Sencha, which is the first time we've ever brought this tea out, so you guys will be able to try it for the very first time. And we also have our cream egg tea, which is a bit of a bird and blend seasonal classic. We bring this one back every Easter and you guys just love it. And we also have our hot cross bun tea, which is a mixture of rooibos and black tea as its base, and you guys love it. We bring this one back every year as well. It's really delicious, so you definitely need to give all of these a try. So today I'm going to show you how to make a cream egg mega latte. I'm going to show you one recipe for each of the teas from each of the boxes for you to practice at home. So our cream egg tea is a Sri Lankan black tea as its base. It also has cocoa nibs, cocoa shells, jasmine blossom and sunflower petals as well. So it's a really delicious but quite a simple recipe. You need to give it a go. Let me show you how to make it into a mega latte. So first of all, you're going to need a strainer of some description. So what I've got here is our Brudini. This is kind of our top product. We love this for making loose leaf tea at home because it's super hardy. The lid comes off like this. You can also pop the strainer out and decide if you want to give it a proper wash. It is dishwasher friendly as well, which is really handy and great for brewing tea. So to make a cream egg mega latte, you want to take 2 teaspoons of the cream egg tea and pop it into your Brudini. So about 100 millilitres of boiling water in here. So what we're doing here is we're making a tea concentrate, which is essentially just a really strong tea. There we go. And I'm just going to let that brew for 4 minutes. So whilst that tea is brewing, I'm just going to talk you through the other blends we have in the box here. We have our hot cross bun tea, and this one's a bit of an unusual one because it has got a rooibos base, which is naturally caffeine free, but it does also have some other tea bases in there, like a Sri Lankan black tea and a lapsang souchong tea as well. So the lapsang gives it a lovely smoky kind of flavour, which is really interesting. If you haven't tried lapsang before, make sure you give it a go. It also has some cinnamon, hibiscus, apple pieces, rose hip, orange peel, and cranberry pieces as well. So there's loads of different ingredients in this blend. It's a really interesting one, especially because of that smoky flavour. You definitely should give it a try at home. I love to have this one as just a hot tea. My favourite way I think I like to have it, I quite like to have it iced with a bit of coconut milk and vanilla syrup, but it's up to you. You just need to experiment in as many ways as you can. It's really, really good. And the last tea of the 3 is the Spring Sencha, which is a brand new blend to our tea wall. And this one's really special because it has a Japanese Kokicha Sencha green tea. And Kokicha is really special because it's only harvested once a year, first buds of springtime, which makes it really special. It's a bit of a delicacy, and it's the only tea we've done that has Kokicha Sencha inside of it. So give it a try and let us know what you think of that one as well. It also has in it some toasted rice, black peppercorns and chamomile as well. So it's quite an interesting range of ingredients in this blend. A little bit spiced from the peppercorns, a little bit nutty from the toasted rice, and they're quite earthy with that green tea as well. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes. I'm just going to strain this into a mug. I'm going to show you what to do. So this is our Brudini. I'm just going to show you how it works. You've just got to pop it on top of your favourite mug, and it just strains through the bottom like so. So it's like a gravity steeper. They're super handy. Like I said, dishwasher friendly. And once you're done, you can just chuck your tea leaves in your compost bin if you have one at home. Okay, so that is our concentrate in our mug. Feel free to add in any vanilla, honey, syrup that you might fancy at this point. I'm just going to leave it as is today because it's going to be quite a sweet treat anyway. And I've got some hot oat milk in here. You can use any milk that you like. We kind of prefer oat milk the best. And I'm going to take my handheld matcha and milk frother to give that hot oat milk a little foam. Right, then we're just going to add that hot foamy oat milk to our tea concentrate. Make sure you leave enough room at the top for some whipped cream. Okay, so I've got some whipped cream here. This one's a vegan one, but you can use any brand that you like. And I'm just going to spray this on the top the best way I can. Ta-da! That went quite well actually, quite proud of that. And then you're just going to take some cocoa powder. Got a little teaspoon of cocoa powder here, sprinkle that on the top, like so. And then you want to take a mini cream egg. We just got these from our local supermarket. And you want to cut it in half and pop it right on the front of your drink, like so. That's all there is to it. If you want to make a cream egg mega latte at home, feel free to follow this recipe, or you can check out our blogs on how to do that as well. This is super delicious and a really nice sweet treat, kind of alternative to a hot chocolate to enjoy this Easter. So give that a go and let me know what you think. Okay, next up is our gourmet box. So like I said before, if you're a traditional tea lover, if you like your breakfast brews, your Great British Cuppers, your Earl Greys and so on, then this is the perfect box for you. In this one we have two black teas and we have one oolong tea with a bit of a mixture in between actually. So starting off with Lady Lavender, it's a bit of a classic. It's got a lovely fragrant Earl Grey, it's got some Sri Lankan black tea as its base. It also has lavender and that traditional bergamot oil as well. So it's super interesting smell and super interesting flavour. If you do like floral blends, this will be a great one for you. Yeah, it's really fragranced and yeah, it's lovely. Give that one a try. We also have our Builder's Breakfast Brew, which if you love a really strong cuppa in the morning, then this is perfect for you. We also have our Great British Cuppa, but that's a little bit more malty, a little bit more light, because that's whole leaf tea. Now this one is a tea leaf that's been cut, torn and curled. And you can see that all the tea leaves have been almost cut into these little tiny balls and grains, and that is because they've been through more processing than what a whole leaf tea would. Now when you taste this tea side by side with a Great British Cuppa, you won't be able to believe the difference in flavour. This one's a lot more strong and a lot more developed, and that's because it has been cut, torn and curled, which basically speeds up the oxidization process. Think of it as like when you bite into an apple and then that bit of the apple starts to go brown. It's similar for the tea. So the more the tea is kind of battered, torn, cut, curled, the more oxidization can take place, which means the tea will be stronger in flavour and higher in caffeine as well. But it's a really good cup of tea to have in the morning as well. One of my favourites, one of my go-tos. We also have the digester as well. This one's a super interesting blend because it's got lots of different bases in it. And this is the one I'm going to try with you today. So I'm just going to make this one as a regular hot tea, you know, because I just don't want to overcomplicate it. I want to focus on the ingredients of this one and show you all about that. But we've got this lovely little Bird and Blend branded infuser basket. I love these because they're really handy. They're handbag size. You just pop it in your mug like so. It's got a little lid to keep it warm, and also once you're done with brewing your tea, you can sit the strainer in there like a little plate as well. So if I'm going to make 1 cup of tea just for me, I'm going to take 1 teaspoon like so, pop it in my strainer, and I'm going to get some boiling water, and I'm going to let that brew for another 4 minutes. Whilst that brews, I'm just going to pop the lid on top like so. So this one has a few different bases in it, which makes it really interesting. So it has a Chinese pu'er tea as the base, but it also has a Chinese oolong tea as the base as well. So there's 2 different tea types. We've got the pu'er and we have the oolong. The oolong is super interesting because oolong is a tea that can be brewed up to 6 times. So you could re-steep that same teaspoon of tea up to 6 times, and the flavour would only develop more and more. And that's because the tea leaves get rolled into little balls, and as you brew it, they unfurl more and more and more, and they release more flavour with every brew. And the pu'er tea is also super interesting because pu'er tea is a type of tea that's aged over time. So like you might find with wines or cheeses, pu'er tea is kind of packed into these really big bricks, and these are usually stored underground in caves, and they're aged in there for years and years. And they can be really expensive types of tea because the longer they have to brew and to age and develop, the more of a delicacy they become. Obviously this day and age they're kind of done a little bit less so in caves and more in kind of temperature controlled rooms over years and over time. They can kind of speed up that process as well if they want to. But yeah, traditionally a pu'er tea would be packed into a tight brick like this, but we've just got some here as a loose leaf. So to accompany the Chinese pu'er tea and the Chinese oolong tea, this tea also has ginger, orange peel, ginseng and fennel as well. All ingredients that are kind of known for helping your stomach, kind of soothing you if you've got a bit of a tummy ache. This is why we like to call this one the digester. It's a bit of a nod to all the ingredients in there that a lot of people find very soothing. We've had a lot of brilliant reviews as well on our website, so you can check them out to hear about other people's first-hand experiences with this tea. But if nothing else, it's just a really delicious, slightly spiced, earthy blend. I'd usually just have this hot with no milk, just as it is. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes. I'm just going to take the lid off the strainer, strain the tea, and then it can just sit on the lid as though it's a little mat for it, stopping these spillages. And yeah, let's give it a try. So this is a lovely, really earthy blend. I can kind of get some spiciness through there from the ginger, but that nice earthiness that comes through from the pu'er tea and the fennel as well. It's a really nice comforting blend. Definitely give that a try, especially if you're a fan of more of an earthy vibe. This could be perfect for you. Okay, so for March's caffeine-free box, we've got 3 delicious blends for you to try. We have got 2 rooibos spaces and 1 fruit tea as well. So we have our carrot cake tea, we have our mint chopped rooibos tea, and we have our candy floss at the fair tea as well. So these are all pretty different from each other and pretty exciting flavours as well. If you're a carrot cake actual cake fan, you will love this. It smells and tastes exactly like carrot cake, which is just unbelievable. Carrot cake has always been my favourite type of cake, and since going vegan it's not always easy to get your hands on it, so this is a really great alternative if you can't have dairy products. Also, carrot cake is now nut free. It used to have nuts in it, but we've removed the nuts to make sure that it's kind of accessible for everyone, which is really exciting. So if you couldn't have it before, you're safe now because you can have it now, which is brilliant. So give that one a try. Makes a lovely tea latte with oat milk as well. I find that oat milk helps to bring out that cakey flavour too. So this one has got a rooibos base, but it also has carrot, nutmeg, mallow flowers as well. It's got quite a simple but really delicious recipe. We've then got a mint chopped rooibos. So again, this one is the lovely rooibos base. It's got cocoa, it's got cocoa shells, and it's got cocoa nibs. But it also has peppermint and vanilla pieces as well. It's so nice. It smells just like mint chocolate ice cream. And I love to have this one iced with coconut milk and a little bit of vanilla. It's so refreshing and sweet, just kind of naturally. It's lovely. And then last of all, we have Candy Floss at the Fair, which is a brand new tea as well, actually. It's pretty new to our tea wall. So if you don't know already, then I'm about to tell you. So all of our stores have a store specific blend. So this one is our Nottingham store blend. So if you're from Nottingham, this is perfect for you. I lived in Nottingham for 6 years. I used to work at the Nottingham store, so I'm a big Nottingham fan. And we used to have our store blend in Nottingham, which was called Tea from the Hood, like Robin Hood. But then we developed this blend because we thought it might be a nice nod to the Nottingham Goose Fair. So if you've been to Goose Fair before, you'll know all about that. And this is a lovely fruit blend. It has apple pieces, rose hip, it's got really cute little star-shaped sprinkles in there. They're really lovely and colourful. And it's also got some hibiscus and cornflowers as well. So again, quite a simple recipe, but a really delicious and juicy flavour. It smells so nice. It almost smells kind of like a grapefruity kind of smell. It's so nice. It's really lovely to have it cold brewed with lemonade. So I'm actually going to show you how to do that today. So I'm just going to take my cold brew tea bottle. These are dishwasher friendly as well, by the way, which is super handy. They have a silicone lid, the bottle is glass, and inside we have a little strainer there that just pops in and out to make cold brewing tea super easy. So in your cold brew bottle, you want to put 4 to 6 teaspoons of the tea. So I'm going to do 6 because I like to have a nice strong cold brew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And cold brewing is all about time rather than temperature. So if you're going to make an iced tea, you would make a really strong tea concentrate, and then you let it cool down and then combine it with lemonade. But with a cold brew it's different because you're putting in cold liquid in with the tea and you're just letting it brew for a longer period of time. So you could cold brew with milk if you wanted to, with lemonade, with sparkling water, with tap water, anything you like. The options are endless really. You can cold brew with any liquid you want. It's all about experimentation and just seeing what recipes work best for you. But I've got some lemonade in here that I want to add to this cold brew, to the candy floss at the fair. There we go. So fill it right to the top like that, and then I'm going to pop the lid on it like so, and then I'm just going to let that brew for 4+ hours, or I quite like to get in the habit of just doing it overnight. So if I want a cold brew ready for my next day, I'll make one at dinner time whilst I'm cooking my tea, pop it in the fridge, and by morning it'll be ready. Or if you want to have a cold brew after work when you're kind of relaxing, then you can make it a routine to make a cold brew for yourself and pop it in the fridge at breakfast, so when you get home from work it's good to go and ready for you to enjoy. Okay, so our candy floss at the fair tea cold brew has been brewing for 4 hours. So, I mean, you can see how much that colour has changed and developed already into the lemonade. It's really brewed and looks delicious. So I'm going to give it a little try so we can talk through the tasting notes of this one as well. Pour just a little bit in there to try. Normally I would serve this with ice, and you can add some nice extra fruit to your glass if you wanted to, make it a bit more fancy. Oh, it's so good. It's really fruity and juicy. You can really taste that rose hip in there. It's giving it a nice little tart kick. It almost tastes a little bit like a Pimm's. So if you're really into that kind of alcohol-free, summery alternative, this could be perfect for you. And you can cold brew any of our teas as well, by the way. It doesn't just have to be the fruit teas. You can cold brew any of our teas, enjoy them hot or cold, and experiment with lots of different liquids to go with it as well. So get experimenting, try this combo, and let me know what you think of this one too. Okay, so that is our March box. I really hope you enjoyed all of your teas in this box, whether you got the Flavour Explorer, the Gourmet box, or the caffeine-free box. There are so many great blends in there for you to enjoy. Make sure you follow us on socials and follow us for next month's box, and let us know which ones were your favourite.